All right, we're now going to talk about equivalent fractions using proportions. And really, this is good practice on cross-multiplying and working with that basic algebra technique. So, for fractions to be equivalent using proportions, that means when you cross-multiply, bottom of one fraction to the top of the other, which is, in this case, 40, and then you multiply the other side, 40. If those two are equal, then yes, you have equivalent fractions. If they do not, thinking if we would have 4/5 equals 2/3, when you cross multiply there, I would get 10 equals 12. That is not true, and therefore those are not equivalent fractions. So we can use the cross multiplying method to check this out. So when we look at number 1, are these equivalent fractions? Well, if I would set them equal to each other, that makes them proportions. And then if I cross multiply, 20 times 20 is 400. 4 times 100 is 400. Yes, these are equivalent. If I look at number 2, again, I'm going to take this and I'm going to set them equal to each other because you have to set them equal to make it a proportion before you can cross multiply to make this mathematically correct. So 18 times 11 is 198. 2 times 99 is 198. Yes, equivalent fractions. 3, again, I'm going to take the and out and make it an equal sign. 21 times 200 is 4,200. 54 times 75 is 4,050. This answer is no, because 4,200 is not equal to 4,050. Those are not the same. So that answer is no. Now we get into some decimals. So again, take out the and make it an equal sign. Cross multiply. 1.225 times 8 gives me 9.8. 7 times 1.4 gives me 9.8. The answer is yes, these are equivalent fractions. Number 5. 20 times 7,000 is 140,000. 140 times 100 is 14,000. Does 140,000 equal 14,000? Hopefully you said no. They're close, but they're off by a place value. You know, that's a big difference. Think about, let's talk about contracts and your salary. 14,000 versus 140,000. Just a little bit of a difference. That zero matters. All right, this next one we have some scientific notation. So again, I'm going to make it equal to 0, and now we multiply. So I've got 2 times 2.5, which does give me 5. And then this is like, if there's nothing there, it's automatically a 1. So 10 to the third times 10 to the first is times 10 to the fourth. Is that the same as, going this direction, 5 times 7 is 35. Negative 2 plus 6 is to the fourth. So is 5 times 10 to the fourth the same as 35 times 10 to the fourth? And hopefully you say your answer is no, those are not the same. 5 and 35 are not the same. Since the back end is the same, we really only have to compare the front, and 5 and 35 are different. Number 7, same concept. Again, I'm going to take out the and make this an equal sign. And then we cross multiply. 1.5 times 4 is 6. Add my exponent, 5 plus 2 is 7. Go the other direction. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 plus 5 is 7. Notice how the 6's match, 10 to the 7th match. So our answer is yes, these are equivalent fractions. Number 8. Now we get into some words. So I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what, let's rewrite these close enough to scientific notation, at least with words. So I know that million is 6. So that is 40 times 10 to the 6th. 1,000 means 3. So that's 5 times 10 to the 3rd. I want to set that 1,000 third. So 2 times 10 to the 3rd over 4. And now I can cross multiply. So when I go this direction, 5 times 2 is 10. 3 plus 3 is 6. Then I go the other direction. 4 times 40 is 160. You know, right there I can be done. Times 10 to the 6th, because I know very quickly that 10 and 160 are not the same. So my answer is no. Number 9, 8 billion. Again, I'm going to go ahead and change this first with those words, changing words to numbers. So 8 billion is 8 times 10 to the ninth divided by 50. And 305,000, so that's 305. 1,000 means 3 over 3.5. So now when I cross multiply, let me look at my notes and see which way did I go first. I don't know. I would say I went this way first, and I got 15250 times 10 to the third equals, now when I go this way, 3.5 times 8 gives me 28 times 10 to the 9th. Like, that is the most obvious one to me, because look at these at the end. And not just, I mean, there's nothing even remotely close to these. So our answer here is no. And if you're not sure, because of scientific notation, go ahead and write them out in standard form, right? Move your decimal, add 3 zeros, add 9 zeros, and then it'll be pretty clear that they're not the same. Well, not to mention, look at the way they start, 15 and 28, they're not the same. And the last one, number 10, 1 trillion. Well, trillion is 12. 8 million. Million is 6.5 trillion. Trillion means 12. 4 million. Million is 6. And now we're ready to cross multiply. So, 8 times 10 to the 6th times 0.5 times 10 to the 12th gives me 4 times 10 to the 18th, because 6 plus 12 is 18. Then I go the other direction. 4 times 1 is 4. 6 plus 12 is 18. And you will notice they are exactly the same. So yes, we have equivalent fractions. And I hope you enjoyed that.